Hello, it's Lens from Lens Inspirational Corner. I'm back with some more motivational tea for you today. I know we talked about the eclipse the other day. We talked about that, and I told you my story about what happened. And then we talked about, I let you know about the how I opened up my home. And so one thing I wanted to do with this channel is just motivate us as a collective, um, just to motivate us, because one thing about the spiritual journey that people do not talk about often is that it can get real wild. Being on your spiritual journey, it can get really chaotic. Um, it can get lonely. That's something that people don't talk about. And the reason why it gets lonely, because a lot of times once you start your spiritual journey, those people that you used to be friends with and hang with and the things that you used to do are no longer interesting to you. So it's almost like for a little while you go into seclusion. And you don't really have that many people that you can relate to anymore. Not like you used to. So that's where the journey can get lonely. And healing can be chaotic sometimes. And that's one thing about the spiritual journey. If you're intentional about it, you're going to do some healing. You're going to do some healing, and that healing doesn't always feel good. Sometimes it hurts when you look at where you're coming from and what you used to do and who you used to be and who you really are, and the not so positive things about yourself, the shadows of yourself. When you really start seeing that, sometimes that can be a bit much. So I created this channel to build a community of those of us who are on our spiritual journey. We can help each other, talk to each other. My goal is to give you motivations, messages that I get, downloads, that I get through the course of the day, and just share them with you. Because I tell you one thing, if I'm going through something or have dealt with something that many of you have gone through the same thing, or had the same issue, or have done the same thing, whatever it is. So that's my purpose for this channel. And so today I was thinking, I was like, you know what? I wonder what I really want to talk about next. And I talked to one of my co-workers, and we talked about that. And she was saying, well, this, do it this way. Think about this, blah, blah, blah. We were talking. And what came to me by the end of this evening is let it go. I was outside on the porch, right? And I was planting. I got some grow bags, and this season I'm going to be planting, growing vegetables, herbs, and my son is going to do flowers. So anyway, I was out there, and I was, putting the soil in the grow bag and putting the seed potatoes in there, and just the mulch, everything that I needed to do for this to get this whole process started. And I was thinking about how free I was feeling. Like, I felt so good out there this evening, just in my solitude and planting, gardening, if you will. And when I was doing that, the message that came to me was let it go, right? I would not have felt so good the way that I did today if I hadn't let a certain person, a certain situation go. That I swore up and down the situation was for me, right? But now that I have accepted that I had to leave that thing alone and moved on, I feel so much lighter. And I don't know if you all can relate to that. That you feel when you finally let something go, someone, something, the job, a person, a friendship, a relationship. But when you finally go ahead on and lean into letting that thing go, I'm telling you, it's peace on the other side of that. But sometimes we just so hell-bent on hanging on. Just hanging on. Just hanging on. I don't know if any of you all have ever been there or not. But just hanging on. Scared to let something go. But you got to get on the other side of that fear and let that thing go, whatever it is. I'm talking to somebody. I don't know who it is. But whatever it is, get on the other side of that fear and let that thing go. And another thing is this. If that thing lets you go, accept it. Accept it. And keep it moving. There are situations where things or situations or people will let you go, and you say, you know what, I'm gonna fight for this, right? And you don't have any business fighting for anything. It's not really a situation to be fighting for at all. There are times when it is time to fight for something. Give you a prime example. I was at the DMV. My son was there to take his drive. One of my sons was there to take his driver's test. He went up, he checked in, and they said, oh, go sit down, they're going to call you, don't worry about it. We sat and waited. No one ever called him. And then on his phone, he got a message where it said, your driving test has been canceled because you've left the building. That's a situation that you fight for, because you have definitely been wronged. You understand what I'm saying? That is a situation where you stand up for yourself and you say, hey, no, this is not the case. But these situations that I'm talking about, they're not worth fighting for anymore. You probably already been fighting all along for it. Probably been fighting. When you're in something and you find yourself constantly pouring so much energy into making sure that the thing works, and I don't care what it is, it doesn't have to be a relationship. But when you find yourself constantly putting all of this energy into this thing, it's time to let that thing go. You got to start listening to spirit. I tell you, spirit, universe, God, source, mother, father, whatever you call your higher power, never leads you wrong. You know you hear the voice. You got to lean into that. You got to trust, and you got to have faith. Because I'm telling you, on the other side of letting go, of accepting what is freedom. And nobody said that no one said that having to let go or having to accept being let go in whatever the scenario is, it could be a job or anything. No one said that doesn't hurt. I don't know where people get the notion that if you're in spirituality, that you are not going to be upset, that you are never going to get mad, that you won't ever be sad. That's not what it's about. It's not about walking around numb with no emotion. Love and light, yeah, love and light. That's not how that goes. That's not reality, right? So that's all I wanted to tell you, basically. Everything in a nutshell. For somebody, this message is for somebody. Let that thing go. Because on the other side is peace, is freedom, is wholeness. And on the other side is love.